Hi, my gorgeous Geminis. Excuse me. This is your home light security reading for the month of August for all Gemini signs. Wow. I am definitely getting your communication is definitely going ring. I am definitely getting like the energies are turning on for you. And that's a good thing because it's not just the Lion's Gate. It's going to travel into your fourth house. So it's going to be traveling into your inner emotional security. So really tap in right now. It's definitely lighting up and giving you a lot of energy, but they're saying trust in that psychic energy, trust in your abilities, trust in your intuition. Allow it to teach you, because it's what they're giving me is you guys do not have to be perfect. There is nothing here to fear, but you may be trying to go at a pace that's not exactly right for you in the way of slow down. You may be trying to go a little too fast and being a little too inflexible with that. Let me see. The first card that came out definitely matches it. It's lightning. So this is coming into your source energy. And then I have the hag. So this is, for me, this is the crown. So this is coming into ding dong, it's on. Ding dong, it's on. And it is definitely feeling the energy, but I feel like you might be so revved up that you're like, yeah, okay, let's go. And I feel like what's going to happen is you're going to burn out. So you need to slow that down. Trust it, but slow it down. The scarab. It is definitely a new birthing time, a new self-evaluation time for you. This is definitely very good energy. I had somebody else here who wanted to talk, so let me see what else this other deck has to say, and then we'll get into the astrology itself. What does Gemini think? You. What I'm getting is the home. Now, this may be the fourth house. Like I said, you're going to be moving into the fourth house come the end of the month. But remember, what I'm really getting with this is the home. This is the home. The psychic activity, the centering of it all is your soulfulness. And make sure that you are centering it. You're soulfully pulling it in and grounding yourself is really what I'm getting. And then the new cycle and the spiraling of that lesson will be coming in. But I do feel like this is an entire month thing. It's not just... So, with that being said, what's this next card? You are definitely going to be evaluating, because this is past, present, and future. So this is definitely growth. It's showing you lessons of the past, where you are right now, as well as where you're going. Maybe seeing all at the same time, because that's that endless cycle and the lessons of the endless cycle. I feel like this is very good energy for you all. Is there anything else? Yeah, just growth. I shouldn't say it like just growth, but growth. So I really feel like this is, you guys are in a good place, but I feel like you've very much maybe tapped in and turned on, and that's great, but slow down, because I just feel like if you don't, you're going to burn out, and then it's just going to take you longer for the growth to actually hit the head and the soulfulness, and allow it to flow. Allow there to be an ebb and a flow right now. Don't just be like wired, is really what I'm getting. Now, as I move into the astrology for the month, let me walk you through the astrological movement. You have the Lion's Gate, which is technically on the 8th, but that energy is already in session, more or less, and it will still continue after the 8th for a little while, especially considering the full moon is going to be on the 11th in opposition of where that Lion's Gate was. And directly across from it, because the full moon will be taking place in Aquarius. Now, on the 11th, the same day as the full moon, you have Venus, which is moving into Leo. Now, this is going to be all important the way that is coming out. You have Mars, which is moving into Gemini on the 20th, your sign. And then the sun is moving into Virgo on the 22nd. But here's one of the kickers. You have Uranus in your 12th house. Uranus in your 12th house, which is already in shadow. And this can be a very powerful energy for you if you're using it right, because it will be going retrograde on the 24th. On the 25th, Mercury enters Libra, and then you have the new moon in Virgo on the 27th. Now, let me pull up this. I always say that wherever the sun is technically the house that you are walking through at this time. And for you, this is your 3rd and 4th house, like I was saying. Now, the sun is in your 3rd house right now, so the way you are communicating in the 3-dimensional world to yourself, outwardly, as well as spiritually, your psychic communication, that should really be off the chain right now. The sun is illuminating it. It is shining on you. However, the sun is not always giving you the best or the worst, because it's not like tarot. The sun is not always the most positive. The sun is illuminating the truth. It is illuminating how the communication is going, whether it is egotistically or soulfully. All right. And the thing is, right now, as we enter through this Lion's Gate energy, you have Sirius here with the sun, not the Sirius star, Sirius. But this is speaking to you about what you are nurturing or neglecting, which will ultimately be the threefold of your communication in the 3-dimensional world with yourself, outwardly, as well as spiritually and psychically. Okay, so you're illuminating right now how the communication is and can be. Are you actually taking in the communication from a soulful point of view, from an egotistical point of view, or understanding when it's kind of going back and forth, ebb and flow? But then right after that Lion's Gate energy on the 8th, you have Venus moving in here. Now, Venus is not love. I don't know how many times I can tell everybody, I do not see Venus as love. She's moving into your 3rd house of communication, which is going to make it a lot more sensitive. Venus speaks to you about being able to communicate and charm your way into getting what you want. But she also speaks to you about what is good for you, why it's good for you, why you want more of it. That's why she has the tongue to communicate in such a positive way, charmingly. But she also, being Venus, can tell you when it's been cat got your tongue, when it's been, what I like to call word vomit, speaking like Mercury retrograde, just letting it all out. Because Venus is your sensitivity. She speaks to you about what's good for you and what's bad for you, where people have lied to you, where people have betrayed you, where people have harmed you. Now, this is your sensitivity is coming into this communication. So whether it's what you'll be hearing or what you'll be speaking in this communication, as well as psychically, what you're going to start getting is going to be even more in tune, even more off the chain, even more tapped in because of that Venus energy. And all I can say is trust your intuition here. Trust your feelings about the communication. You might need to watch how you communicate, meaning there's always a repetitive action. There's an action and a reaction for however we communicate, whether it's positive or negative. But Sometimes it still needs to be said, but I will state that those energies of that silver tongue will also be coming out because of the simple fact we are talking about Gemini having your communication in Leo, Lionsgate, with the threefold, with nurturing or neglecting the communication as it is with Venus's sensitivity. Now, it will be moving from that communication into your inner emotional security of your fourth house. And this is where the new moon is going to take place at the end of the month in Virgo. But hold on one second so I can pull up your chart so that I can make sure I'm getting this right. Now, your ninth house is where you're going to have the full moon just a few days after the Lion's Gate. Your ninth house is where Saturn is. And this is definitely speaking to you about your psychic connection, your psychic communication, your ethics, your morals, your spiritual urges, your higher learning, your psychic energy, as well as your relationship with your religious ideas, your spirituality, and the communication and the growth here. Now, Saturn being here at the new moon, at the full moon, is going to be speaking to you directly about your communication with your spirituality, with your own soul self. And then, are you giving yourself the opportunity for growth? Are you giving yourself the opportunity to spiritually evolve and grow soulfully into a bigger spiritual soulful person? See, Saturn is rules, walls, and boundaries. Full moon bringing into attention where maybe you're not giving yourself the opportunity at seeing things from a larger perspective. And then it's going to go all the way full circle to inner emotional security at the end of the month with a new moon in Virgo. See, I'm trying to take you full through here. And it'll be tapping into the roots of who and what you are. Why you are what you are according to those roots. Whether they've been good or bad. How that taps into your inner emotional security. And if it's actually secure or insecure. Now, the thing is, you have Mercury in your inner emotional security up until the end of the month when it moves out on the 25th. So this is saying your communication in your inner emotional security is already being tested, already being questioned and evaluated. All of this has to do with your communication this month. Everything for you has to do with the way you communicate and what you hear and what you are speaking. And how strong and secure spiritually you are evolving because of that. Now, that Mercury on the 25th is going to be moving into Libra. Into your fifth house, which is giving you an opportunity near the end of the month to start getting into creation. And I mean it in that way because the fifth house is the pursuit of pleasure. It is your creation, your creating energy. It is your inner child, your development of fun. It is where we meet, the people that are kindred to us, where we meet our lovers, where we meet our people that we have fun with and our free time and we enjoy. It's where you meet the people who are on the same paths as you. And this is where we get into our hobbies. Our hobbies are creative expressions such as art, music, sports, things that you like to enjoy and be part of. And this is where you meet these kind of friends. So this communication is coming into where you can start to explore more pursuits of pleasure if you are open up to the communication of giving it a shot and stepping into something more than what you've already been. Stepping into the opportunity of trying the new pursuits of pleasure that are coming your way. Giving them an opportunity of trying to shift your rules, walls, and boundaries so that you have the opportunity to actually have time to try to do so. And showing you what needs to be shifted and redirected in order to get you on that proper path. Now, the thing is, let me get it back here. Your 6th house is where you might start to find problems. Your 6th house is Scorpio. The South Node is still here. The South Node in Scorpio is speaking, the South Node, no matter where it is always speaking to you about what you're really good at, but it's not good for you anymore. And the 6th house is your everyday, daily tasks, your mundane tasks, what you do on a daily activity. What you overlook because it's part of every day. The people, the places, and the things of the energies that are so repetitive that they are actually part of the creating of your manifestation without you realizing you're actually putting any energy into it. It eats up your energy just as much as you eat it up. Now, the South Node being here says there's something about this mundane that needs to shift. There's something about the mundane that is either the people, places, and things that you are a part of on a daily activity that you've allowed to be part of your daily activity, but it's not helping you grow. It's just a comfort zone. And it's asking you to tweak it. That's what the South Node is asking you to tweak it so that the growth can still happen. Now, see, this is Scorpio. So you should be open for transformation. You should be open for trial of new things in your daily activity. Curiosity, trying new things, not having to be exactly the same routine. And if you're stepping out of that and into the opportunities of giving yourself more time for fun, for the things you enjoy, but being able to still accompany the whole way around, then it's going to give you more opportunities to create and to communicate what you would like to see in your own growth. Okay? Now, hi, honey. Yes, I hear grandma coughing in the other room. My cat's like looking at me like, are you paying any attention? Now, as you get into your 8th house, this is the rules, the walls, the boundaries of the relationships. It is the foundation of the relationship. It is saying, with Pluto here in retrograde, that it's saying there's opportunities that you can shift your foundation of these relationships and allow yourself to be seen more. But I always say Pluto is kind of like, though I walk through the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Now, this is saying you can allow yourself to have more relationships. You can allow yourself to try to be open and communicate in new ways with new relationships. See, it's in the relationship zone, giving you an opportunity to start seeing relationships from a new light, a new opportunity to communicate how you are, how you feel about them, as well as what you want from relationships, and give new people a chance to try to see if you guys are really in sync. And it's just giving you the opportunity to explore more about your communication in these relationships, and if you can have more or less. Now, as you move into your 9th house, again, this is exactly where the full moon is taking place. This is speaking to you about giving Yeah, your ninth house is where Saturn is. It's coming in right after the Lion's Gate. It is speaking to you about giving yourself an opportunity to communicate in more ways, taking a chance, trying new things on a spiritual level, trying to mature and grow, expand that communication soulfully, your ethics, your morals, your higher learning, your spirituality. And then as you're coming into your 10th house and your 11th house, this is where I want you to start looking at things from a different perspective. And the reason I'm saying it this way is your 10th house is Neptune, which is still in retrograde. But your 11th house is the groups, the memberships, the committees that you are part of that support your goals, dreams, and ambitions. Here, the 11th house is Aries. And Aries technically is the head. Everything in Aries is in retrograde until the end of the year. It has Eris, trouble, toil, strife, injustice. It has Chiron, the wounded healer. And it has Jupiter, abundance and manifestation, all in the mind, in retrograde, overly thinking in your head, analyzing. And it all stems from is that head energy, training your brain energy, going to be communicating what really you're in sync with or not, according to the dreams, the goals, the ambitions, the groups, the memberships that you are part of. Are they matching or don't they? Because Eris, trouble, toil, strife, is going to be picking at the memberships, the groups, the committees that you're part of. And it's going to be picking at, well, is this really going to support my goals, my dreams, my ambitions? But is it picking in an egotistical way, a lower vibrational way, like unforgiving? Is it trying too hard to hold on to things that really aren't going to help you in any way, shape, or form? Is it making you hold on to what I like to call vampire syndrome? Vampire syndrome is, you've seen any vampire movie before when they're like sucking the blood on the neck, and they always say for vampires, once they're dead, you've got to stop sucking the blood. But no, I'd rather continue to drain this as dry as I possibly can, even though there's nothing left here anymore. This is what I'm asking you. Is your Chiron energy just jumping on board with the Eris energy in the head? The groups, the memberships, the committees that you're part of, are they feeding into that vampire syndrome, or are they in sync with your goals, your dreams, your ambitions? Because right now, if you're feeding into that vampire syndrome, it's going to drop kick you around November and show you exactly where you've been screwing up and make you fight twice as hard to come back. Then you move into your 12th house, which is where Uranus is in shadow, getting ready to go retrograde. Uranus is your independence, your individuality, your uniqueness, your freedom, your ability in the 12th house to actually heal, grow, and move on by finding your independence, by standing up on your own and breathing out your dignity, breathing out your individuality, by looking at where you're unconscious to yourself, where you're unconscious to your own grief, sorrow, shame, self-sabotage. And this is what I'm saying. You want to make sure that as Uranus is going retrograde and starting to pick at you and your independence, your individuality, your uniqueness, your freedom, your liberation, that you don't have Aries energy, that mundane energy of the committees, the groups, the memberships that you're part of, going, well, let's pick at all of these negative lower vibrations, which will just keep you there. Because that's the difference between starting to create the authority and losing your power to the authority. It all has to do with where your communicational vibrational frequency will go, higher or lower. If you're in your head and you're communicating in that positive way, it's going to help lift you up and take you down the road. But there has to be that ebb and flow. I love you guys. Bye.